Hi class, my name is Robert Estes, and today I will be discussing the emergency management theory, whether or not it actually exists, and if it does, what is it? First, let's discuss what emergency management is. According to the class slides, it's an organized analysis, planning, decision-making, and assignment of available resources to mitigate, prepare for, respond to, and recover from the effects of all hazards. Now, the goals of emergency management is to save lives, prevent injuries, and protect property and the environment if emergency occurs. Emergency management is also divided up into four separate phases. The first phase is mitigation, which eliminates and reduces the probability of occurrence. The second phase is preparedness, which minimizes the damage of the disaster. The third is the response, which provides emergency assistance and reduces the probability of additional injuries or damage. And the fourth is recovery, which returns all systems back to the normal levels. These phases are all carried out by local, state, and federal emergency management agencies. These agencies use a system known as the Incident Command System, or ICS, which is a set of personnel, policies, procedures, facilities, and equipment integrated into a common organizational structure designed to improve emergency response operations of all types and complexities. It is a standardized management tool for meeting the demands of small or large emergency or non-emergency situations. Now, in order, it goes the prevention mitigation, then preparedness, then the response to the disaster, and then the recovery process. Now, we need to define what theory is. According to the Oxford American Dictionary, there are two separate definitions for theory. The first definition is a supposition or a system of ideas intended to explain something, especially one based on general principles independent of the thing to be explained. An example of this would be Darwin's theory of evolution. The second definition is a set of principles on which the practice of an activity is based. An example would be the theory of education. Now, after hearing this information, we can ask the question, does emergency management theory actually exist? Well, according to both the definitions of these terms, instead of there being an emergency management theory at this particular time, there are specific theories that associate themselves with the systems that are used by emergency management at all levels. The first definition defines theory as a set of ideas intended to explain something. However, emergency management is not a set of ideas. It is a set of systems and a system of actions to solve a problem or problems. Darwin's theory of evolution is a set of ideas helping to show and explain how evolution works. In contrast, ICS is a series of systems and actions in place and is a solid system that has been used numerous times and is also the basis of emergency management. Now, on the other hand, the second definition of theory is a set of principles on which an activity is based. Though the activities of emergency management are influenced by the four phases of emergency management. Principles is defined as the fundamental source or basis of something. So if the four phases are the basis of emergency management activity, then they would be seen as the principles of emergency management. So this means that the theory of emergency management would be based on the four phases, which are mitigation, preparedness, response, and recovery. So, all in all, I believe that there is actually no emergency management theory that any one person or group of people could have predicted by now. Based off of the first definition of theory, emergency management wouldn't have theory because it is comprised of systems in place to solve problems instead of an idea to explain the problem or problems. However, according to the second definition, emergency management would be based on the four fundamental phases: mitigation, preparedness, response, and recovery, because these are the phases in which activities stem from. So, I believe that there can be a theory of emergency management in the future based off of the four phases, but as of right now, there has not been one of those that's been universally accepted by any of the agencies.